synchronized with the cluster management module, in this case, again, CMM4. And you can control it with Wireless Manager. You can control the PMP430 with Prism as well. I don't mention it too much, but that is possible. It does work with Prism. Again, there's a GUI user interface, web-based, similar to all of our other products. In fact, the software is identical and looks and feels the same. Just to cover very quickly a sample link budget, if you have 75% downlink, you can get about 10 miles away at the QPSK range, which will give you about 16.5 megabits throughput. As you get a little closer, if you get to about 2 miles away, that's when you'll hit the 3x modulation or the 64 QAM, which will give you the full throughput. You can increase, one thing I didn't mention yet is you can increase the gain of the antenna on the subscriber by adding a lens, which you may be familiar with from PMP100 products, which basically is a polycarbonate antenna that slides over the top of the module, and that gives you about a 6 dB adder to your gain. Or you can add a reflector dish to this thing, which will give you about 15 dB increase in link budget. And as you can see on the far right of the chart, that'll increase your distances to quite a bit. You can get about 40 miles away, and 40 miles is our software limitation. So you can get to 40 miles away from the access point and still make a good connection there. Just to add to the specs, our typical QoS profiles are included. This product has 56-bit DES included, and you have an AES option. And it has about 15,000 packets per second, which is a big improvement over our prior products and the PMP100, in that it'll support a lot of small packets. So if you're doing VoIP or gaming, a lot of gaming customers, you'll have the ability to support those guys without encroaching on a packets per second limitation. It's perfect for a number of reasons. Perfect for demanding applications that require low and predictable latency, as we talked about at the very beginning. There's a lot of flexibility in the use of your spectrum. You can change channel bandwidth to support whatever your needs are. And it's got a lot of bandwidth, more than any of our other products. It's a great fit for video surveillance and enterprise because it's fully customizable uplink, downlink. If you need to do a lot of video where you're sending a lot of data upstream, this product is great in that you can get just about the full bandwidth going back to your AP. Common accessories and configuration, installation, web interface, management software as the PMP100. So if you're already familiar with our current products, this will leverage all of those kinds of things. And it has all the networking features you've grown to expect from us, including VLAN and Q&Q. Again, Motorola products, no compromises RF performance. We're designed from the ground up to be a solution for fixed outdoor. Highly scalable. The scheduling and synchronization reduces self-interference and makes this product work very, very well throughout the loading. Solid reliability, proven reliability, very robust. Low total cost of ownership. The all-outdoor, zero-footprint design allows you for that. The low overhead in terms of network architecture allows for that. And then again, the wireless manager provides you one tool to manage everything. So with that, I don't have any more slides, and I'm going to open it up again to questions.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Matt. It's been a very interesting presentation on both the 320 and the 430, and we do have some more questions. I just want to let everybody know, before we move any further, since there is so much information here, that this webinar will be available for review through Streakwave.com. So if you want to view this again, come to Streakwave.com. It usually takes us about 1 to 2 days to get it up on Streakwave. It'll also be available through our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it or you have any questions, again, it's a good place to go to get the additional answers. Person asked us a little bit about the background of using this thing most likely remotely, if it could be hooked up to a remote power supply like solar. Can you talk a little bit about the amperage draw for these things?
I can get into very specifics. In the case of solar and batteries, we have a lot of customers that have done that in the past. We do not provide a turnkey solution for that kind of thing. However, I mean, in terms of the actual amperage draw for an AP, you really need to look at what equipment it is that you're hooking up and do an analysis based on that, because it's fairly unique to the situation that you're in as to what you're going to need. Now, if there's a specific question there, I'd be happy to answer it, and maybe email and offline is the best way to do that. But these products will operate with the subscriber modules will operate with 24 volts. So that typically would be like 2 12-volt batteries in series, or the AP will operate at 48 volts as well. So there is a possibility there, and we do have customers that have deployed it in those situations. But we found that each case is unique, and we can't really give a cookie cutter or a turnkey solution for that.
And I guess to add on to that, the PMP320 access point, as an example, it uses less than 25 watts of power. I think the 430 is similar, 22 watts. Okay, so it's very similar. So these are very low power consumption at the base station. And then, of course, the subscriber modules are significantly lower than that as well. So so I think certainly solar powered is an option with these types of products.
One of the slides said that, I think it was talking about the AP, that you have a zero footprint. I wonder if you could tell us what that means.
Sure, that's really indicating the all-outdoor solution. So you put the radio up on a pole, and you have nothing else that you need to locate under the tower or outside, or inside, rather. So that's indicating that there's zero footprint on the ground.
And to compare to some of the other types of products that are out there, both some 16B products as well as some proprietary products will separate the radio into two pieces, where you have an IDU or indoor unit and an ODU or an outdoor unit that hangs on the tower, and then you run a fiber cable or something between the indoor unit and the outdoor unit. And one of the things we really are sort of insistent on with each of our new products is that it's an all-outdoor unit, just because it's really a much more reliable solution, and it cuts down on the installation time as well as the maintenance and support over the life of the product.
Now, since this is an all-outdoor product, maybe you could speak a little bit to the weather factor. How does the 320 and the 430 do in weather, and what are the extremes that they can take?
So all of our products today are rated from minus 40 C up to 55 C or 60 C. And they operate, we have installations everywhere around the world as of right now. I know there's an installation in Antarctica that's running at typical temperatures down there, which I believe are on the order of minus 20. That runs without issue. We also have installations in the Sahara and in very, very hot locations where the sun is beating down, and these things in cabinet are getting up in the order of 70 C, and they're running no problem. So there's not an issue. It's very robust in terms of environmental, and as you can see in some of the pictures in here, there's ice covering it. There's other weather extremes where these things run very well.
Again, I would just again say that we have recently announced 3 million units in the field. So this is all based on the same mechanical design. So this is very well field proven over a number of years, and again over 3 million units deployed. So it's proven to be a very reliable solution over environment, temperature, and those types of constraints.
One attendee asks whether or not a 2.4 gigahertz or 900 megahertz version will be available.
At this of the PMP 430, I assume he's asking.
I think it's the 430, yes.
At this point, there are no plans to develop those products. I mean,